Hi boys and girls, this is your math assignment for Tuesday, December 8th. It looks like this. It's larger numbers. We've got a snowman up top, and then we've got some penguins, reindeer, gingerbread that are going to help us talk about larger numbers today. So don't forget to put your name on your paper. Remember, I'm using a marker, but you need to be using a pencil. So that way when you make a mistake, because I hope you make mistakes, that you can go back and fix them, okay? Mistakes are how we learn and how we get better. Okay, so larger numbers. Our directions say, look at the number on each picture. Color the picture that has a greater number. Write an X on the picture with the smaller number. So I'm going to, I think I want to use my light blue color today. So we're going to color the picture that is larger, that has a larger number on it. So for this, I'm going to get my little blocks here, okay? Actually, I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use blue to compare the two. So we're going to look at the penguins first. So I've got 7 and I've got 10. Okay, and I'm going to line them up. Larger numbers are the bigger ones. Okay, so here's 7 and here's 10. The larger number is the one that's taller. And you could do this with pennies. You could do this with any objects at home if you need help counting. You know that that's a 7. You know that that's a 10. Count out each and compare the two. Which one has more? Well, the 10 has more. So I'm going to color my penguin blue. Okay, let's look at our gingerbread. Okay, now this one goes past 10. This is 12. Okay, so 10, I'm going to add some white ones on top. Actually, I'm going to add them to the bottom. 10, 11, 12. And this one is 9. So let's compare the two. This is 12, and this is 9. The 12 is larger. So I'm going to color the 12. Okay, now you can continue to use a model like this to color the pictures that are larger, or some of you might just be able to compare the two. So for example, 8 and 13. When I break down these two numbers and I wrote 13 and 8. We talked about this on a Google Meet, and if you were on there, then I can kind of explain it now. So we've got two different place values here in 13 and in 8. Okay, on the side, on the right side, the 3 and the 8 represents our 1s. And on the left side, that's our 10s. That's how many 10s we have. So for 13, we have one whole 10. Like we have a whole 10 frame plus 3 1s. And then with our 8, we don't have a full 10. So I automatically know, looking at 13 and 8, that 13 is larger because it has one full 10 frame. It fills a whole 10 frame. But then it gets a little bit more tricky whenever we've got numbers like 16 and 15. Because look at their 10s. Their 10s are the same, their 1s are different. So now I'm going to compare the 1s. I've got 5 1s and 6 1s. Here are 5 1s, and here are 6 1s. Well, 6 is 1 more than 5, so I know that 16 is 1 more than 15. So that's how that can be a little bit tricky when we look at the 10 side and the 1 side, but that's a different way to compare numbers that are larger than 10. So 6 and 9. Another way to do this too is I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, when I started counting, I got to the 6 first, and then I had to keep counting on for the 9. And I have to jump 1, 2, 3 more spaces to get to 9. So I know 9 is more than 6 because I had to keep going for 9. And so all these different ways that I'm talking about are just different ways to look at things. And whichever way is easiest for you to do it is the way that you need to do it. So 10 and 20. This one, if I compare the two numbers, and again, we look at the one side, 0 and 0, they don't have any ones. But if we look at the 10 side, the 10 is one full 10. But the 2 represents two 10s, or 20. And so I know 20 is larger than 10. So I would color this one here. Okay, let's look at the snowmen. 5 and 1. Which one is larger? Well, I can have 1, or I can have 5. Which one is more? That one was easy. You knew that one. 5 is larger than 1. Okay, 11 and 4. So this one is a pretty easy one too because I've got two digits here, which means I know I at least have one 10, and this one doesn't have any 10s. So this one is 11. 11 is larger than 4. Okay, 18 and 20. I'm going to write these out so we can compare them. Well, if I look at my ones place, it looks like I've got more ones, but then when I look at my 10s, I've got two 10s. Got two 10s and I've got one 10 here. So I know that 20 is more. In our last one, we've got 14 and 17. 14 and 17 they have the same amount of 10s. Their ones are different. And I know 7 is more than 4. So 17 is more than 14. So what I want you to do, now that I'm done coloring, you should be done coloring too. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the one that's colored, okay? And I want you to say out loud, 10 is larger than 7. 12 is larger than 9. So you always start with the one that's colored. 13 is larger than 8. 16 is larger than 15. And then I want you to find something in your house to represent that 5 is greater than 1. Okay, maybe you're comparing your toys, the toys that you were able to carry to the toys that your sister was able to carry or your brother was able to carry. Or maybe you just split your toys up in your room and you make different groups. Okay, that would be a fun way to compare larger numbers.